Brooke, welcome back to Atlantic City. I think the first thing we need to know is, once you take a walk here with the kids, they can talk, that's okay. You just became aware of the Children's Seashore Home, and yet you took time out of a very busy schedule to come down here and honor the graduates. Why was that?
Well, because first of all, as any graduate knows, it's whenever you've accomplished something and whenever you've graduated from something, it's a sense of real triumph. And I think these children, above all, deserve to really feel great about that. And luckily, this worked, and Planet Hollywood was generous enough to do it. And this is the first time I've actually been working with, or in conjunction with, the house.
Is there anything? Now, obviously, you are not physically challenged like they are. However, you have had challenges throughout your life, and the fact that you've been, in the spotlight since you were 11 months old. Can you almost relate to some of that challenge? I mean, how you got through life and kept a little sanity?
Well, I think any type of challenge is relative. I think no matter what your circumstances are, I feel I've had my own circumstances that I've had to overcome, or just a life in this industry can be difficult. One thing, though, that I like about what you said is that we're not acknowledging that any challenge is too great to do your best at overcoming. So whether it is a physical handicap or whatever your challenge is, that doesn't mean that you just accept defeat. And that's what these kids haven't done. They work on it and they're excited to come and continue whatever it is that they're working to overcome and work on.
Well, certainly one of the biggest challenges that you ever faced was graduating from Princeton. I mean, and this is an unusual situation. I know that. Is that your Princeton ring? Let's take a look at the Princeton ring. There we go.
It's legitimate.
It's a legitimate Princeton ring. You earned it. You graduated with honors with a degree in French literature, right? But before you went to college, listen, you had been fabulously successful as an actress, as a model. I mean, they say you can't count someone else's money, but for sure you could have probably made it very nicely through life without going to Princeton. But why, of all schools, one of the most difficult in the world?
That's part of my nature. It's indicative of who I am, not to sort of want to ever, settle. And I had the opportunity of going to one of the best universities, and I really took advantage of it. And just, I've always had an image of what university was like, and thought if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to give it my best shot. Had I not gone to school, I think I would have been a statistic. I was on a short. I think what it gave me was a sense of fortification in an industry that doesn't necessarily merit that. You go into it, and if you don't have a sense of who you are and a base, or you haven't given yourself time to become confident, it can break you down. And I think that's what it did for me. I mean, it gave me 4 good years with just kids and to sort of live and grow up with.
Have any other kids in the business who have wanted to go on to college, have they ever called you up and said, hey, Brooke, what's it going to be like? I'm out there, I'm famous, and all of a sudden I'm going to go into a situation like this?
I haven't received any of those personal phone calls. Some daughters of some people that are in the business, but I've heard through grapevines of people that I've worked with that a student who was, say, on a television series or said that they would have looked to us as some type of a goal, or so it's just nice to know that it can be done, and I think to see someone achieve it just allows you to know it's possible.
Makes you feel good, huh?
Yeah.
All right, you've done very well in motion pictures and on television, and then last year you surprised a lot of people twice. First, when you said, I'm going on Broadway to replace Rosie O'Donnell, and I'm going to play Rizzo in Grease, and second, when you went out there and you did it, and the critics went, she pulled it off.
That's all right.
Were you surprised that you came out that well?
I'm surprised that I was received as well. I wasn't surprised at myself, because I commit 100% to whatever I do, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing, and if I'm going to fail, I'll fail 100%. But so I wasn't surprised at myself, because I knew I would get out there and do because you live or die out there, basically. But I was very pleasantly surprised with how welcomed I was.
But that was pretty much of a new medium for you. I know you did a play at Princeton when you were a junior.
You've done your homework, haven't you, young man?
I tried to. Young man. Oh boy, I love this lady. She called me young man.
And he's
She
wearing
doesn't
a
even know.
coat.
Yes, thank you very much. You did the play in college. and then you did a play, I think, where in New Mexico or something.
I did Love Letters.
Love Letters. Okay,
Yeah, a few
okay.
times.
But really, that wasn't Broadway. I mean, that
compares
was
to this.
yeah.
8 shows a week, singing, dancing, when you really don't think you can get up in the morning and you're still going out there and doing it. It's just a sense of accomplishment.
So-
I mean, in a way, it's another parallel to the kids here. You know, when you really don't think, when you're physically unable to do certain things, and yet you just somehow you get it in your mind that I'm going to try the best I can.
Would you want to do it again?
I would, but you know what? I would wait, because I went into a show with no expectations, and it was a wonderful show. It's a musical comedy. The talent was great, and everybody loves that show. You can't just all of a sudden go, okay, I want to repeat this party and have it be as good. So I definitely wait.
How about a nightclub act? I mean, you've sung on Broadway. I mean, we need new people in
fail
Atlantic City.
miserably.
Why? I mean, if you can do it in the legitimate theater, you can do it in the illegitimate theater.
Oh no, it's not illegitimate. I give people in nightclubs a lot of credit, but they are themselves, and that's different. Getting on stage and just being yourself is one thing. Getting on stage and just completely going into another character is another, and that I can do. But just being myself, that's a little bit harder.